Hey everybody, it's Dina with PaperGuacamole. This is my third video where I'm going to show you some vintage sari dress trim that I received from New Delhi, India. These are vintage sari pieces off of the bottoms of the sari dress. The previous two videos were parts of the sari where there was a draping that comes across the front and back of the body over the sari dress. Those were pieces from that part of the sari dress. These are part of the hem of a different sari dresses that obviously the dresses were worn, they were used because these are vintage pieces. I wanted to tell you that I just wanted to have a variety, and I ran across these sari trim pieces, and you know, some of them are in excellent condition. Some of them you're going to notice that on the actual sari silk or fabric that they're attached to, there is some stains on that fabric. I did not want to attempt to wash the fabric. You know, so I'm not sure how I'm going to list these trims in my store yet, but I figured whoever receives the trims can decide if they want to maybe hand wash them or how they want to handle it. You're going to see all of, you know, from one side of the trim to the other so that you'll know kind of what the trim's all about. I got a really good deal on these, and I just thought, you know, why the heck not? Let me see what they look like. So anyway, I'll start with the first one. The first one it's on this beautiful, it's almost like it's a dark blue, kind of a purple sheer fabric. And it looks like there isn't much wear on this. There's a little bit of, as you know, this fabric kind of comes apart really easily in the sense like it frays. And so there's a little bit of fraying that has gone on. But as far as the integrity of the actual beading, it looks pretty good. It looks really good actually. But so let me go over the detail. This trim is lined, or it's bordered in gold thread. There's green actual embroidery here, and between each of these gold little loops, there's a little bling piece. There's lots of gold thread and stitching. There are seed beads. There are all kinds of beads in here. There's sequins. There's also a line of green thread that runs along, and inside the thread are gold sequins. There are little medallions or circles along the middle of this trim, and in the middle there are some little kind of seed beads with a looks like a blingy kind of piece here. On the tops there are, every so often, there are these little medallions. Well, there's only two of them. So anyway, that is the first piece that I wanted to share with you. The next piece is a beautiful lavender color. There's a lavender floral design on the silk here that this border or trim is attached to. The trim is actually, it's hard to see, but it's like an iridescent gray with different flowers, two styles of flowers here. Looks like there is one with gold seed beads, and then there's one with these beautiful little red pieces that have flecks of glitter in them. At the centers of each of the flowers are little gems, and in between there's lots of seed beads and sequins. These are like a white iridescent sequin. These other little beads, some burgundy colored sequins, and then kind of outlining the trim is this kind of like a rope style cord that runs through. So we'll go from one end to the other. This is one of the pieces that there was some staining on. It was on the fabric. It does not appear to be on the actual trim. Okay, there is a little bit of fraying here, but anyway, let's go from one side to the other. Okay, so there's a little bit of staining there, but no big deal. Okay, these are vintage pieces. They're not always going to be perfect. So here we go. Okay. The next piece is a beautiful, beautiful, heavily beaded piece. Okay. It is almost like a rose color. It's so, so pretty. There's a little bit along the bottom of the border. It almost feels like a velvet. And then there's this cording along the bottom that I'm actually just going to remove. That's part of, maybe it got stepped on at an event or something, whoever wore it. But you have these, it's heavily, heavily beaded. Every other flower is beaded. There is a beautiful gold fabric and velvet that kind of runs through. And then at the center, there are these bling pieces with a big centerpiece on most of them. Okay? So we'll just kind of run through. Here's a piece again. Has a little bit of a hole. I'm going to work on it. I mean, you know, it's still beautiful. It's still absolutely gorgeous. There's definitely some workable pieces here for your crafts. This next piece is a blue. It's like a, it's like a dark turquoise, okay? And it has these beautiful sequined medallions that run across in blue and red, along with a scalloped bottom in gold thread with silver and red sequins that run along in the middle here. At the very top are these little flowers that are embroidered and have embroidery in the middle and sequins. Okay. Beautiful piece. A little bit of staining on the edges, nothing that we can't work out. Can't fix. This is a beautiful, heavily embroidered green. It's like a, it's kind of like a lime green. It's sheer. It has red and turquoise sequins that run along the bottom. The flowers here have red sequins, and there is sequins and seed beads along some of the leaves and some of the flowers. Okay, so here we go. It's beautiful. I wanted to get a variety of colors. Some of the colors, you know, I have favorite colors that I gravitate towards, and other people do too, and I have to remember not everyone likes pink and turquoise, right? I mean, I'm sure you do, but you probably, you know, you might like green better, or you might like yellow better. So I tried to get, you know, a variety of colors. This is a beautiful piece. Lots of flowers on this one. It is pink. See, there I go with the pink again. It's like a beautiful pink with a red border here along the bottom. The flowers, again, cut off the bottom of a dress, of a saree dress. Purple flowers, purple and red flowers with gold, looks like gold. A gold thread along the flowers. And then these leaves are actually, it's like a green, but it almost reminds me of like a light teal, like a teal green, right? And there are very small black sequins along the flower centers. Okay, just beautiful condition. Again, this reminds me of Mexican folk art that I see here in Texas, but this came off a saree silk dress. So anyway, it's what you see, I guess. It's what you see for your projects and your crafts. This next piece is a beautiful trim. It is a hunter green. I don't know how the color is coming through, but I will tell you it's a hunter green, and it has orange, and it has almost like a I don't know, it reminds me of, this is like a burnt orange color, and this is like an orange-red color. And then there's gold stitching throughout, and it's bordered in gold and a lighter gold sequin design, and then the flowers have silver sequins. So this piece is it's just perfect. And then I don't know if you can see if it comes through. Right here are smaller flowers in the sequins, right? It's just a beautiful piece. The next piece, I stepped out of my comfort zone and I got something in orange because I just loved the beading and the mirrors that are on this trim. So this is stained. Okay, there are some stains on this one, but as far as the integrity of the sequins and the mirrors, everything looks good. It's just the orange part of the fabric on some parts. Maybe it's just that part. But anyway, there is a scalloped kind of design on the bottom with mirrors at the bottom of the scallop, and then little mirrored pieces here. And actually, I think they're like it's like a flat sequin that's in there. The flowers have these beautiful little blue with kind of a glittery piece in here. And then there are seed beads that surround this in silver, turquoise, sequins, silver beads again, and white iridescent sequins with seed beads and then a blingy center. So again, really pretty. Okay, maybe this one's my favorite. I have quite a few favorites, but this is a beautiful plum colored saree silk trim off the bottom of a vintage dress. This is vintage saree. This is all this is all beaded. These are all beaded. This design is all beaded with very little, I guess, little embroidery pattern there in between, and then on the insides of the flower. It has green and red embroidery with like a silver iridescent thread that runs through it. On the bottom are all of these gold beads. So I'm going to run through across. There are some little bead pieces up on top, but the focus is going to be here. Okay, and that's a beautiful, like a plum color. Oh, and at the bottom, I almost forgot, there is a little, actually what it is, it's a trim that runs underneath, but we only see it on the edge here. But the trim has these little gold lines that run through it. And you probably can't see, but it kind of peeks through the fabric, and you see kind of the gold shimmer there too. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 more left, so I'm gonna finish this video. Sorry, I guess I'm gonna do another video. I'm gonna do another. This is a tie-dyed vintage saree trim. It has kind of like a cord that runs through the bottom, a little fraying there. I probably won't remove it. I'll leave it and let you do with it what you want. But it has these beautiful flowers here with leaves in between and this little filigree design and seed beads. The flowers are, it is a corded embroidery or a corded thread that runs along the outside, outlining the leaves and the flowers. There are seed beads are the filigree, and then they have centers in them, beaded centers. This has a scalloped pattern,